Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to uh, The Summer Hikaru Died, episode 11? Yes. So, pretty sure we only got 12 episodes in this season, so, it is what it is. I wish it was longer, but yeah. I'm really curious how the season is going to end. And I'm hoping we get a announcement for season 2, but I'll try to not be disappointed if there isn't. But yeah, so episode 10. So let's talk about Tanaka first. So we see him laughing when, in the first scene of the episode, when Hikaru's insides are going all crazy and Yoshiki is trying to put his head, glue it back to his body. And then later, he's like, it took forever, but I sure got lucky having it show up in this era. And what a fascinating case. It's got a sense of identity now and even chose to weaken itself. Looks like I'm already making progress towards my ultimate goal. What? That's really interesting. Ultimate goal? And it's related to Hikaru / Unuki-sama? What? How? Like, there's so much, so many questions raised by that sentence alone. But yeah, he did not expect it at all to have any sense of identity, but he does. And yeah, he's weaker. But Tanaka doesn't seem at all curious as to the why. I mean, he's, I guess by saying that it's fascinating, that alone is like he's curious. But we don't get a single line of him like pondering about that. Then later, when we have him talking to Hajime, and it seems like old man Takeda might have already died. Yeah, okay, no. He won't survive this, but he's still not dead. But it seems like he's in his, last days, maybe hours. We don't know. It was a heart attack? Yeah, it was a little more than that. Yeah, the way that Tanaka says, I bolted to the scene, but I was too late. Like covering his face with the towel. I don't know. I think that might be the first time that we see him show some kind of like regret, maybe, or guilt. But who knows? And then here's where we Hajime says, it's a sigh of relief for me and my wife. I guess because they were tired of taking care of him. And then here is where we get the reveal that Tanaka is actually blind. And the glasses allow him to see. Now, like, I just assumed that the glasses, just he puts them on and it's basically as if he, he sees as he used to be before losing it. But not necessarily. We don't know exactly how much he can see with those things. He said it was caused by like it's a paranormal impairment. So I'm guessing an impurity caused it. And he said that the glasses are from the company, which is annoying in itself. Now, like, I don't know, like, what he, why he's annoyed. One, which would be, like, kind of awful, is that if he stops working for them, then they would be like, yo, you have to give the glasses back. Which, yeah, it's cruel. But also, like, maybe he begrudges that he has to rely so much on this company to be able to have his sense of sight back. A company which he doesn't really seem to think positively of. Now, we don't know why, but yeah, something to keep in mind. But yeah, he lost his sight a long time ago. And then Hajime, like, questions him, well, why did you come here? Obviously, he's not interested in his work reason. Although he does say, my company is looking for a certain something from their world. Gotta be Unuki-sama? And that's gotta be, like, aligning, with the company's interest and Tanaka's goal. Yeah, I want to know your personal reasons. You must have some reason for doing all this. And that's what I've been saying, like, Tanaka is way too passionate and emotionally driven. That he must have a personal goal, and he does. But obviously, he would not share it. So he just kind of dodges the question. But it has something to do with Nonuki-sama. And we end this scene with him saying to Hajime, I'm on humanity's side. But obviously there's a barrier between them, so... Yeah, very, very interesting stuff. I've just added a few things to my plate. What does he mean by this? Okay, so that's all the Tanaka stuff I wanted to talk about. Because, well, there's a lot of exposition this episode. Like, there's a little bit of Yoshiki and Hikaru in the hospital that I liked for, like, their characterization and their relationship. When Yoshiki is like, oh, this is my fault. I should have known. What if the Shades guy attacks you again? Also, if you hadn't torn off that part of yourself to give it to me, then this wouldn't have happened. And Hikaru does his best to, like, reassure him, don't blame yourself for this. It's okay, I chose to do this. We can still, get out of it, even in this condition. And uses humor to kinda distract Yoshiki from the situation. I do like that Rie was like, who is that guy? I hope he's not from, like, that company, so she knows about it. And she tells Yoshiki to, like, you're welcome to go to me if this guy approaches you again. So at the very least, we have her help, as she is at the very least confident that Tanaka wouldn't be able to exorcise Hikaru. Also, she tells Yoshiki as well about, like, Yeah, there's this whole thing about like finding specific bones of certain parts of the body in towns that have the name of them, or villages that are surrounding, or not surrounding, but just very nearby Kubitachi. And it's because of the sacrifices and the rituals they would do for Nonuki-sama before. And the skulls were never found. They would be, in Kubitachi if they were. And I think last episode I was like, they must be there, right? But I misunderstood something because at the end of the episode it's pretty clear when we see the flashback of Hikaru's death with child Hikaru. He says like the heads vanish. Let me see. Family's name comes from this temple. We're taking care of it. Body parts other than the head gotta be buried far away as possible. The village was split into 5 to make this process easier. Yeah, so it's it was like the villages were created in such a way for this purpose. It's definitely no coincidence. Oh no, it is. Literally, next line is like, and by coincidence, the layout looks like a person's body. But at the very least, they must have named the villages because of the body parts that they buried there. These heads are called Okubi-sama, offerings made to Unuki-sama. For years and years, this area has been plagued by disaster. The people were poor, they had it rough. That's why we offer these heads. In exchange, Unuki-sama helps us out. But like that's a complete misunderstanding. Since literally later, Hikaru's like, I don't need offerings to like grant wishes. So this was just all humans making this up and killing these unfortunate people because paranoia due to religion. It helps our cross, prevents disease, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think definitely do not think they needed to offer human heads for Nonuki-sama to do that. After we offer the heads, they vanish. Yeah, that's why the skulls can't be found. So the head the wood statues are to honor the dead, which is like you kill them. I don't think doing that honors them. And then we find out also like with Maki's brother. Like he says something about like basically false history. Here, Unuki-san as a religious figure was already gone. I think. Wait, let me check. Earlier than that. By the time the village split around 1700. Unuki-san as a religious figure was already long gone. However, throughout the domain, the rumor persisted of a curse befalling those who interfered this area. After that, the believers of another religion facing oppression at the time fled here. been settled down without fear of persecution. But that's not true. As we know later, people who worshipped gods other than Nonuki-sama were sacrificed, killed, and there are that's why Kibugayama has so many churches even now, but that's not true. There are no churches in Kubitachi / Kibugayama. Nonuki-sama became a curse god after all the villagers died. With nowhere to turn, the villagers adopted new religions to practice instead. Nonuki-sama was forgotten. Or at least, that's true for the other villages, but not Kubitachi. Yeah, I know for a fact Kubitachi still believes in Nonuki-sama. And that's because of the sin that the Indos committed that we don't know about. Yeah, every other village forgot about Nonuki-sama except for Kubitachi. They were not allowed to forget because they needed to pay for some kind of sin. Okay. Yeah, so, this is all very interesting. So we gotta keep all the lore in mind. But yeah, they're gonna go and try and talk to Yoshiki's dad about Hikaru's dad. Because he must have known the whole thing, and Hikaru can't remember what he was told the sin was. And yeah, I still can't get over how casual Hikaru's dad was about telling his little son about the atrocities the village committed. So, alright, let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I bet. Ooh, rain. I like the tone set with the rain. As I'm guessing we're gonna have a dark flashback. Superstar, oh yeah, and then we had Hikaru asking like, yo, what would you do if the god was here among us? And Maki and Yu-chan was like, yeah, ooh, we wouldn't want him here. Mata aeru nara, kono saki wa ishun, mo ishun no suki wo useu sangu oboete ikou, me o toshi au tabi, mabuta de hisashite, kimi e aeru nara, oda deco de arason. Oh, that's cool. Obviously, very important to how he feels about Hikaru. Mm, but also the big contrast to how he acted with his dad. The way they're not even looking at each other. Like, literally, their backs turned to each other. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh. I see. Oh, wow. Oh, Hichi-san is her? Wow. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, he wasn't wrong. Damn. Everything. Mm. uh. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. He says that when all he wants right now is to give Hikaru a place to belong. Hmm. Yeah. Does it? Mm. Oh my god. It's weird that we didn't see Hikaru's mom go to the hospital last episode. Mm. Right. Yeah, good question. Mm. Oh, that looks exactly like Hikaru. What? Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, cool. He's telling Hikaru. Hmm. No, he's asking again. No, last time he phrased it as like, how am I different than him? Oh. Oh. That was music. Hmm. Whoa. What's... Hikaru? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yo. He's freaking out. It's like that night, last episode, when he went to Yoshiki's house. Oh, shit. Yeah, she's just acting on instinct. Mm. Whoa. Oh, Hikaru. It kind of looks like Hikaru himself is also in pain. Oh. Oh. Oh, maybe. Oh. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, was that Ah-chan? Yeah. Oh, he's not letting him go. But he could have still brushed him off. Ah-chan? How much did she see? Oh, look at her eyes. Oh, Hikaru. Oh, he went to Rie. No. Is it Yoshiki? Oh. 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 Easily one of my favorite episodes of this show. Man, if Hikaru cries, I cry. Sayonara, あなたじゃなくたっていいから。Sayonara, 話ののさを。手の上は下がる。なってしまったもん。ただただどのレース。Okay, give me a second. Okay, wow. There's a lot to talk about. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say everything I want to say. But just real quick. I don't know what might happen with Achan. But I'm hoping it won't be negative towards Hikaru. But if she saw him, in a trance trying to kill Yoshiki, then well, I doubt her reaction will be good. So yeah, I'm hoping she talks to them first before she tries to do anything drastic. But that's a little that is kind of concerning. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that first. So okay, first of all, the flashback with little Yoshiki and his dad. I like the whole like I like the monster guys better. They're so cool looking, but how come they always get defeated? Uh, I don't think it's at all comparable, but I just got reminded of Gato from One Punch Man. But anyway, yeah, it's very, like obviously the way that he thought back then, I feel like definitely informs the way he sees Hikaru now. I mean, alongside obviously, like if, you know, the god that resided in the mountain had possessed anyone else, things would be very different. But because it's all compounded with Yoshiki's feelings for OG Hikaru, and then like that's how Yoshiki's feelings, they were never going to be not strong, but he's definitely definitely seeing Hikaru for who he is right now. And well, we'll get to it. Okay, so we got now the explanation of what the scene of the Indos is. Also, kind of crazy seeing oh, okay, his name is Kohei, saying young Kohei, because he's so so different from what we've seen him in Hikaru's flashbacks. Whereas Yoshiki's dad just seems almost, well, not almost, but pretty similar to how, he acts now. Just, there's definitely a light from his eyes that has left him. Okay, so what happened? Yeah, I'm not, when Yoshiko goes like, make it make sense. I'm like, yeah. Because this time, so like, okay, Hichi-san didn't really come back to life. She stayed ahead. So Nodoki-sama didn't actually grant the wish, really. So like, maybe it was just an unfortunate coincidence that all those people were going to die, and it just so happened that this Indo ancestor asked for this favor when Nodoki-sama, well, maybe not even Nodoki-sama, but some of those deaths definitely seem, I don't think Nodoki-sama like directed or controlled impurities that did that. It just happened. What if Nodoki-sama was not even in the mountain when the Indo ancestor went with Hichi-san's head? And that's why it happened. What if just some random impurity made it so that her head moved for a few hours. We don't know. But it's because of that they believe that the Indos were at fault for asking for something that the rest of the village had to pay too steep of a price. That the Indos have been forced to offer up heads to like ask for forgiveness. All right. Yeah. Isn't that like we can go back in time and ask the Noroki-sama of that time what actually happened? So, I mean, we got a retelling of events, but we don't know, like reasons. Or causality? Like if it really was that what the Indo husband did there, like was that really what caused all those people to die, basically. But okay, now we know. And I like that little scene with Yoshiki talking to his dad about like what he felt about Kohei, and Yoshiki being like, damn, why did I have to be so much like him? So I'm guessing they Kohei and his dad had a similar friendship to Yoshiki and OG Hikaru. Hell, maybe Yoshiki's dad even liked Kohei, but Kohei was never interested. Yeah, hard to, like, understand the more finer complications of Yoshiki's dad and his mom relationship. I didn't like when Yoshiki asks, like, is it really that important to belong? And his dad basically says, folks tend to crave what they don't have enough of. Folks who don't have enough to eat crave food. Folks starving for affection are gonna obsess over love. And folks desperate to belong probably never had a home to belong with. And of course that makes Yoshiki think of Hikaru. But I like that we leave that scene with Yoshiki's dad at the very least thinking that he might try to communicate more with mom. And we even see it's been a minute since we saw her. I think the sister's name is Kaede, but I could be wrong. Her and mom are actually like listening. But even then, mom doesn't really seem to have a good opinion of dad just because he talked to Yoshiki. Then we go to Hikaru. And he's already being like, kind of like giving up. And being like, well, if people are saying that's, that Nonuki-sama was someone who accepted sacrifices for favors or granting wishes, then I guess that's what I am. Not who I was, he said what I am. So already putting himself in on a box that people want him to fit in. And I like in the end of the episode, but it's even more heartwarming at the end. Then we have Hikaru's mom just like letting him know there's, there is more to you than just that. And then, we have Yoshiki being confused about, what's really the truth? How did everything work in the past in regards to Nonuki-sama? A god who grants requests. But like we saw, or that Hikaru said last episode, he doesn't need offerings to grant wishes. Was Hichi-san special? Why are there so many impurities here in the first place? I don't know. And then we have him look at a book, and he looks at a drawing art that says, "A sketch of Gehenna 1519. So that could mean something or nothing. We don't know. Oh yeah, there was a scene with Achan asking like that time that Hikaru and Yoshiki ditched school, which is the day that Yoshiki stabbed Hikaru. Hey, so it's tomorrow, or rather, what I mean. So therefore I got a different shirt. My hair is loose, so yeah. I got interrupted yesterday, and then I couldn't go and finish the video. So I thought about like, right now just finishing talking about the rest of the episode. But you know what? I just decided I'm gonna do the second half of the episode, or talk about it rather, on the pre-episode discussion next video. So this week you get the first half, and then next week I'll just talk about the second half of episode 11. And because I think it would be better. Also, like, I feel like I would be talking about the rest of it for like 15 minutes, maybe more. And I feel like the video already is long enough. I don't know. But that's what I'm doing, so yeah. So if you enjoyed this reaction, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.